Alright, you guys, welcome back to another power ranking for RLCS. Last week, we did NA, post-regional 2. Make sure you go check out that video. But this week, we are doing EU, post-regional 2. The two things that we look for whenever we're kind of going through this and determining what their rankings are is, one, how they've done this split. You know, what are their current rankings? What are their current standings overall? And then throughout both the regionals. And two, potential. In this channel, we try to be as little bias as possible. Yeah, not really any bias. Let's get into it. All right, you guys. In my 10th place for EU power rankings, I have Aogiri, which consists of Stizzy, Ocelon, and VK Sailing. As you can see, Aogiri is tied for 7th place with G1 and Team Liquid. They've been looking pretty decent, but it's like kind of a question of, do they have as much potential as these other teams that are able to make this top 10 power ranking? I don't think so, you guys. You know, as you can see here, 9th through 11th in the Fall Open, and then in the Fall Cup, they did get 5th through 8th. There's so much. They're looking so good here, but is it really just a fallout from teams like G1, Oxygen, and Liquid here that's really bumping them up in these placements? I think that's a possibility, which is why I have them placed at 10th. I do think that come next season, they can do more than what they're doing and place higher on this power ranking, but for now, this is just where I have them. In my 9th place in this top 10 power ranking, I have Team Vitality, which consists of Alpha 54, Radisson, and Sazen. Before I get some of the heat for this, maybe, let me explain. So the reason I said I'm not sure if I'm going to get a lot of heat for this one is because in the Fall Cup, they did place top 4. However, you guys can see here their overall rankings is 10th, tied with Evil Geniuses, who overall has not performed their best. And I know they performed so well in the Fall Cup. In the Fall Open, though, you can't see them because they weren't there. They were not there. They didn't make it. I think that was a shock to so many people. But they weren't there. There's no consistency between not making it and then coming over here and making 3rd, 4th. There's no consistency in that. I know there's so much potential, but I need to see a lot more from them before they get placed higher. I really am excited to see what they do in Regional 3, but I can't justifiably place them higher simply on potential when all these other teams have shown so much more consistency and have actually even made it to the regionals. Coming up in my 8th spot, that could really go to 2 other teams as well. I am putting Tundra, which consists of Rizix, Raziers, and Casio. You know, I know this may seem like a little bit of a strange one considering that they are tied for 5th with BDS, and I'm putting them in 8th. The thing is there are 2 other teams that I feel could at least be, like, I feel they could be in the exact same position, but I feel these 2 other teams have overall more potential and a lot more growth to be had. I'm just not sure about this Tundra squad. I think they're so good, and I think they definitely can make top 5, but these other 2 teams that I'm going to be putting above them that you will see, I think have so much potential, and that is why I'm putting Tundra in 8th. It kind of hurts because EU is so crazy right now that there are multiple teams that could be in that 8th and 7th and 6th and 5th slot. You know, there's so many teams that could be there, but this is where I'm putting them for now. Again, that 8th place, 7th place, 6th place, it could really be going to several teams. Today, in this power ranking, I'm putting Team Liquid in 7th place, which consists of Oski, a Tau, and a Chronic. You guys, this squad tied for 7th with Aogiri and G1. I think this squad has one of the highest potentials of almost any team in the top 10 here in my power rankings. It's just the problem is that they have not shown that this split. I mean, I think overall they averaged about 8th, 9th place in ranking. Obviously, as you can see, tied for 7th with multiple other teams here. That was about their ranking. So I did put them kind of dead even here in that 7th spot. Like I said, so much potential. They could be 6th, they could be maybe even 5th, but I am setting them here for now. Like I said, Liquid has so much potential, more than the vast majority of these teams, in my opinion. I have seen them peak time and time and time again, so I guess it's not really a peak. I've seen them play so well and be so mechanical, but I have not seen that this season. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. 3 other teams being able to be put in this 6th place position, just going off really how I feel, and then potential, and then their current rankings. In 6th place, I am putting G1, which consists of Mark by 8, Atomic, and Dorito. Again, a team that has tied 7th place with Aogiri and Team Liquid. The thing with this team is I've seen their potential. When they play these other top teams, I've seen all they can do, taking them into Game 7, taking them into OT. You can see what they did in the Fall Open, placing 5th through 8th. I know that in the Fall Cup, they did not perform very well. You can see they made 9th through 11th here. Not their best performance, so you may be wondering why I put them in 6th, because in reality, they have like an average ranking of 8 to 9. Like I said, there were just so many teams that were in this range because how crazy EU is, that I really had to pick and choose based upon how I feel and then potential, and I think G1 totally fits this slot in 6th place. Listen, I know it might be tough right now looking at my power rankings, and it might continue getting tough. In my 5th spot, I do have Oxygen, which consists of Jorius, Archie, and Oli. So you may be wondering, why did she put Oxygen in 5th? They won a regional. I kind of am going based upon the same thing I said about version 1 in my NA power rankings video, which you guys should check out, by the way. It is up, and they just remind me of version 1 in the sense of when they're on, they're so on. They're doing so well. You guys know they started off this season, this split, incredibly on top, you know, and then this last regional, they really, really struggled. They fell all the way down here from all the way up here, and that's why I put them in 5th. You guys can see during the Fall Open, they got 1st place, they won, and then during the Fall Cup, they just fell so flat, 9th through 11th, and I think that just like, I'm not saying that puts them down and out, but I am going based off potential and what they've been doing, right? How they've been doing, and I just think that this is a good place for them between potential and how they've been doing, and maybe Regional 3, they're gonna pop off again and absolutely keep that 3rd spot. We'll see. Another one that may be a little surprising, but probably not too much. In my 4th place slot, I have Team BDS, which consists of Monkey Moon, Seiko, and Extra. You can see they're tied for 5th with Tundra. BDS taking 4th place. I have so much faith in them. Not only because I'm a little biased, but I also think that every time BDS gets knocked down, whether it's a regional or a major, they get back up and come at these games tenfold and just take dub after dub after dub. We all know they haven't performed as well as they could this season in the Fall Open, taking 5th through 8th, and then in the Fall Cup, also taking 5th through 8th. It's not what they want, clearly, because it does make it difficult to make it to the major with all these other teams in contention. But the reason I put them above Oxygen is because of that ability to consistently get back up and just perform and perform and perform after being knocked down. I do have belief in them, and I think they're a fantastic team. And, you know, when you think of EU, one of the teams you think of is BDS, and I don't think they're out yet. And putting them at 4th, I can't justifiably put some of these other teams below them with these other teams. Just fantastic performances this split, but I think 4th place is a good place for BDS at this moment, and I hope they go up in the rankings come Regional 3. I think this one will come as no surprise. In 3rd place, I am putting Moyes, which consists of Joyo, Rise, and Astral. You guys, I just think it's indisputable that this is a top team. We all know that they are more than capable of making the major. They're 4th place right now with 23 points. Very close to what Oxygen's at, but they've been more consistent in my opinion. You guys can see Fall Open taking 3rd and 4th, or 3rd through 4th, and then same within the Fall Cup. I mean, it just shows a lot of consistency in where they're at within this region, constantly taking that 3rd, 4th slot, and that's why I put them here. You know, I think they have potential to beat Quadrant and beat Carmine Corp and beat Vitality and beat BDS and beat these other teams, but 3rd, 4th is a good place for them because I think the other 2 teams that I have coming after Moyes, you can't argue them. You can't argue their place in this pecking order, this power ranking. So that's why I'm placing Moyes in 3rd, because I can't see any other teams in 1st or 2nd. I honestly don't think there's any other team that deserves this 2nd place more. I'm putting Quadrant here. That consists of Isco, Relating Wave, and Cash. You know, well, I think this is the only team that belongs here. I think it could be disputable, but I do believe in my rankings and what I'm saying here. Quadrant, I think, was a little bit unexpected. I mean, I think we all knew that they would be good, but I think just generally in how well they've performed, it's a little bit unexpected. In the Fall Open, they got 3rd, 4th. In the Fall Cup, they got 2nd, only to KC. And honestly, I mean, they're obviously one of the most consistent teams here thus far, this split at least. And I don't think any other team belongs here with how consistent they've performed at the highest level possible. Like I said, placing 3rd, 4th, and then 2nd place. I don't think there's a team that's more deserving. You guys, this #1 spot, it is undisputable. There's no way you could possibly choose any other team to be here. No other team makes sense. No other team makes sense. I don't care who you're power ranking. Like, I don't care who you are. No other team except Carmine Corp, consisting of Itachi, Exotic, and Vatira, makes sense here. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest, you guys. KC is above by far. I mean, the potential is through the roof. The opportunity is through the roof. The performance in and of itself is through the roof. You guys can see in the Fall Open, they got 2nd place. In the Fall Cup, they took the win. There is no other team that is more deserving of this top spot. I mean, it's undisputable. You can't argue this. Look at that, 43 points, almost 20 points above any other team. You can see NA, where everybody is so much more closer, but KC is topping EU and doing it quite heavily. Clearly the most consistent team in EU right now, and performing at the highest level possible. So there's no other place that they could be. All right, you guys, those are my top 10 for EU currently, pre-Regional 3, post-Regional 2. If you guys want to check out the NA version of this power ranking, I will leave the video somewhere on the screen here, probably over there. If you guys want to go check out that video, I'd really appreciate it. If you liked this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a ton to me doing that, and I appreciate all of you guys for sticking it out and watching this video. If you enjoyed this content as well, I will be doing one before the major of all regions involved, and we will do a power ranking there and see how we're lining up for the major. Thank you guys again for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.